What's going on, everyone? We're back. Connor on Chain. Yo, Bitcoin has hit all-time highs. Let's go. This should have been made yesterday, this video, but guys, it looks like we've finally had a clean break of the previous all-time highs. We had Bitcoin lollygagging around here for a while. Thought it could fake everyone out. Oh, I'm gonna dump here. Oh, let me dump here. Let me take a huge dump here. But no, decided to break finally. On a 4 hour though, it looks like it's literally about to crash again. Heavy rejection up here. It probably could come back down. Wouldn't be surprised if this breaks back below and then decides to rip again. Just classic manipulation before it really gigasends. But anyways, Bitcoin's been going nuts, and so is the market a little bit. We've had, I'm going to bring up a bunch of random stuff today, and if this can load. So the first thing I want to bring up, though, is I actually want to pull up Magic Eden, all right? I'm going to close, literally right here. So we got Ordinals themselves in the last maybe week to 2 weeks. They had a lot of, or not a lot of, I don't even know what I'm going at, but they had a huge explosion in price. We had Bitcoin puppets go crazy. They ended up going from a 0.03, 0.05, 0.07 Bitcoin upwards of like 0.25 Bitcoin. But everything is actually corrected very hard. And I'm bringing up an Ordinal collection that I really do feel like this has insane growth coming over the next few months. I'd say for this whole bull run, these could be something to be watching very heavily. And so if you guys are familiar with like the DMT Nat ecosystem, you guys should check out the Block Runner podcast. Very interesting concept. But with Nat Cats, these are, from what I know, they are like some of the first PFP art projects, basically for this entire ecosystem on Bitcoin. This I think it's a powerhouse of a move to be in a project like this. And as you can see, the chart is just looking beautiful, guys. You might see this and be like, yo, why would I ever buy this? This is dumping so hard. But these are slept on, even at 0.0539 Bitcoin right now. And again, I think a lot of the correction is just due to Bitcoin moving up in price. But again, since we're at all-time highs, we're really just getting started here with this entire run. But Natcats are looking like a good project, looking like a great entry here. Just for, again, mainly for a long-term play. Like, this could be the time to be finding your forever Natcat, if that's what you're into. I'm actually like heavily thinking about getting into them at current levels. Because, like I said, I've been waiting for a dip too for a while, especially within a lot of Ordinals projects. But I think Natcat's leading the way in an entire new ecosystem on Bitcoin as well. It's like you got Ordinals themselves, but then it's like Natcats themselves are basically like the leaders, or one of the first in the DMT Nat ecosystem on Bitcoin too. I don't even need to explain too much. I just think it's going to be a native leader in a new ecosystem on Bitcoin, bottom line. That's why I'm so bullish on these. And I think these are a steal at these levels. I think we could come back to this in maybe a month to like 3-4 months. I have a feeling the price of these is going to be a lot different. But I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research on these. I'm just looking at just pure price action here because I'm a very technical person. When I see like an undervalued project sitting at a great entry, that's what I like to point out. And like I said, these look great. These are literally trading upwards of 0.1, 0.13 Bitcoin. Not even, a week ago? Yeah, they've just been continuing to dump. But eventually, these are just going to have a pump. They're going to start moving up. bottom is going to be formed. And from here, these are going to start moving. It might take a little while, but this is a nice entry for these. So bottom line, Natcats is something I'm looking at very heavily right now. And what else was I gonna do? There's a bunch of other stuff too. So let me pull up CoinGecko here too. So we actually had some AI coins start to move very heavily too. Another one that I wanted to bring up, this one. Yeah, excuse me. So we got Type AI up 150% today. Oh, no way. That's a top signal. Damn. But anyways, Type AI is a pretty interesting AI coin. And again, this just pumped 150%. So before I even start talking about this, guys, this should not be a buy signal. If you guys see this green number and think it's a good entry, please go do your homework and just do not even think about buying. It's not a buy signal. I just want to bring up this project because it is pretty interesting. And the fact that I did fade it very heavily down here when I was watching it for weeks. But we're going to go to the website here, check it out. So Type AI, in my opinion, from what I know, it's kind of just like an all-in-one AI bot, if you would. There's a lot of different stuff that they're doing, that they're implementing. And I want the website to load just to show everyone. Yeah, because with this one, like I said, I pumped 150% today alone. This was sitting at like 800K, 900K, a million in market cap for a while. And like I said, I faded that. I think, honestly, excuse me. I faded this a lot, I think, mainly because, I do focus, it's very hard. I don't like to hold a crazy amount of coins, even though I talk about sometimes upwards of 30, 40 different coins at the same time. I just think you can't hold every single coin in the game, even though I do talk about a lot of them. But yeah, this is just a little tutorial about what Type AI can do. But yeah, like I said, it's just a bot that can do a lot of different stuff.
What Type AI can do.
Let's explore.
What can you do?
What can you do?
Let's see how Type AI answers technical questions.
Yeah, so it just offers a lot of different stuff. So you can literally do like swaps in this. Token prices, portfolio info, market analysis. From what it looks like is there's a lot of different, AI projects that are coming out right now that all they are Telegram bots. And all you do is just type into a Telegram bot like a certain function. But what Type AI, in my opinion, is doing is it's basically taking all these individual projects that offer like one little thing in their Telegram bot, and they're just implementing the same stuff into theirs. So it's like an all-in-one hub for all this different stuff. They're trying to become like a powerhouse for Telegram bot projects, in my opinion.
How will ETH migrate to F2.0?
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty interesting stuff. There's, like I said, yeah, type to bridge, which is actually pretty cool. So you can literally type that you want to bridge something over. You can do that. Type to snipe, type to swap. Like the functionality is really cool, to be honest. The Twitter's like verified as well. They got like a gold check, which is interesting. But again, this is not a buy signal. This is sitting at, I think, around 14 million in market cap right now, something like that. Maybe 15. But like I said, just wanted to bring this up because this was on my radar today. Just an interesting one. And of course we got Mog. We got to do an update here, guys. Like Mog has just been killing it. And something else, another video I want to bring up. So it's sitting at around 320 million in market cap. Let's put around 300 million last time I looked. Because this has just gigapumped over the last couple months here, or not even a couple months, maybe 2 weeks. It's still sitting pretty high. Would not be surprised to see a correction down, pretty strong, like a pretty low correction here, but volume has been slowing down on it, which, I think that's kind of why. But again, it's just, that's how the market works, guys. Volume's going to pick up, volume's going to slow down, price will go up, price will go down. Things just don't go up forever, but I really do feel like for MOG, this was the first actual major pump that it's had. And I talk about MOG on this channel as if it's like a real fundamentally strong project. Like this, in my opinion, this is still the top meme coin for this entire cycle, even sitting at 300 million in market cap. And again, I don't like to tell anyone to buy a top or anything, but like I said, my targets are set for this project. This has a lot more room to grow, and I'm not stopping anytime soon with anything MOG related. Like they're just making a killing, guys. Community is unmatched in my opinion still. But I want to show you guys a video too. If I can type. Like I said, I just want to throw a bunch of stuff together here. So this is probably nothing. I know, as my camera is frozen for literally like 20 minutes. So pretty interesting stuff we got here. Looks like phase banks. I don't know exactly what's been cooking on behind the scenes here, but it looks like we got Banks, the red guy, Leap. I don't know what's coming with this, but it looks very interesting, and I think this is sick. But yeah, so this vlog, bottom line, he's talking about him buying a zombie punk, which is crazy. But in my opinion, the reason why I'm bringing this up is it's pretty interesting because this looks like they're trying to build, I don't know if you want to call it a content house for crypto, everything crypto related, NFT related, something like that. But when it comes to Banks, he's always cooking something up. And especially when it comes to content, he's probably making some content, probably going to be some crypto related content in the future. On top of that, probably, my guess, probably a project by probably nothing. So this is going to be interesting. Ticker is literally, or not ticker, yeah. The @'s probably nothing. I've said probably 25 times now. But mentioned something pretty cool here. I'm going to show you guys. I don't know exactly where it was in the video, but that's, whenever I see this, you got to point it out. I don't know where it was. I thought it was like a couple minutes in, maybe. Bottom line, talking about MOG, as usual, making a killing, guys. But anyways, I'm not going to go too in-depth with too much in this video. This was kind of just like a market update. I want to pull up some charts here too on TradingView, as long as this doesn't crash my computer. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting bull run, guys. In my opinion, we are definitely midway through. If you've seen any of my recent videos, I have been talking about how I'm going to be playing the rest of this market. I really do feel like we might actually be in the middle of it. Obviously, ETH itself is not even broken into new highs yet. But Bitcoin's sitting at new all-time highs right now. Still over a month away from the halving is definitely an interesting one. Very interesting game that we're in right now. And I'm playing it just as if we crossed all-time highs at any other point in the cycle. Or at any other point in other cycles. Like last cycle, we crossed all-time highs a few months after the halving. Obviously, right now, we're passing all-time high a month before the halving. So the time frame is absolutely off. It's definitely different than it was previous cycles. But I will be playing it as if we are right there, crossing all-time highs, no matter where the time frame is from the halving. I still believe there's going to be a bunch of months of Bitcoin to run up like crazy. But in this bull run, I rather would be selling early than selling too late, trying to catch falling knives. And I don't, I have different targets for where I think Bitcoin can go. But at the same time, I'm not a moon boy by any means in this market. And at the same point, everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's curious as to what happened or what's going to happen. Everyone's curious just to see what goes on over the next few months, even upwards of like a year to 2 years from now. A lot of people are calling for a giga cycle, multi-year cycle because of the ETFs and all this money coming in. Some people are calling for a shorter cycle, which in my opinion, that's kind of what I'm gearing towards. But again, I'm not calling this, Bitcoin's not going to go to 82K and then just go to zero from there, Like it's going to play out for a while. Like I said, it's only been a few months since Bitcoin kind of had its bottom, was kind of chilling. Obviously, the bottom was back at the end of 2022, but things really just started ramping up right over here, closer to the end of 2023. So things have been picking up now for maybe 6 to 7 months. Not even that long of a time frame, So I still think even from current time right now, in early March, maybe mid-March almost, we still do have many months to go, if not a year, over a year. But like I said, it's just very interesting trying to figure out where and what this cycle is going to do and what the cycle entails. Because at some point, I do feel like there's going to be some sort of correction. Because again, we have been almost up only for the last 3 to 4 or 5 months here. Again, do I see something like this happening? Like, I'm not too sure. And again, don't look at the time. I'm just drawing, like, doodling, guys. But, it's just really interesting with what's going on, in the real world, in the real markets, outside of crypto. It's just hard to tell. I feel like no one can predict what is going to happen here. But in my opinion, I'm going to be playing this out just as smart as possible. When I see euphoria everywhere, and I assume this is going to be when Bitcoin is way over 80, maybe around 90, 95, upwards of 100K. If it can cross 100K, maybe 110, I think at that point, even if there's a correction before it starts to trend up and pushes, I think right around this point is going to be a massive, massive euphoric moment in crypto. I really do think, and I feel like the top could be somewhere around maybe 90K to 120K for the cycle. Maybe not for the whole cycle, guys, but at least for a point where I would say you should be looking to at least start selling your bags. Again, I'm not trying to tell you, the cycle is going to end at 110K. Like, again, no one knows what's going to happen with this, right? But let's say right now, I feel like retail right now is starting to pay attention. A lot of retail is realizing, like, hey, we missed basically half the entire crypto run already. So what am I going to start buying? Retail is going to start jumping into stuff fairly soon. I give it maybe a few weeks to a few months is when full mania is going to start for crypto. But the thing is where Bitcoin will be at that time, it's hard to know, it's hard to predict. But I do like speculating on it a lot. But bottom line, what I'm going to be waiting for is there's 2 things that I'm waiting for, in my opinion, before a full confirmation for me to really start thinking about selling. The first is going to be a major correction in the market. At whatever point, at some point, that correction has got to happen before anything. Like I said, with anything, Bitcoin has a corrected here, and it decided to keep going. If there's a couple red weeks, even if they're not that big, that might be what we're looking for. If some sort of correction comes across the board in alts, while we're still in this sort of phase here, wow, that circle did not work. That didn't either, wow. If we're in this phase of the market, correction comes, that's what I'm going to be looking for the best entries going forward. Best entries will be coming up very soon. Number 2 that I'm going to be looking for is, if that happens, a correction. Number 2 is going to be massive euphoria once crypto starts moving, has a correction to even itself out. Even though, again, the correction might not even come, but, 2 is going to be massive euphoria across the board once Bitcoin is heavily up. And like I'm saying, I'm going to explain this in another way. Let's say Bitcoin just decides to run to 86,000, has a little dip, decides to dip, and then it starts its run over here. Maybe this is the top up here, right? This is what I'm waiting for. 1, whatever this push is, let the push happen. Let the correction hit. If a correction hits, that's going to be number 1. That's going to be the last entry, the last long-term entry for this bull run. All right, that's what I'm looking for number 1. And number 2 is after the correction, there's probably going to be one more gigantic euphoric run. And again, I'm not saying there's going to be one more, that's it. This market could go on for the next 8 to 12, 15, 20 months, 24 months from here. I don't know. I'm just not betting on it 100% to start selling bags. Again, I'm still going to be pretty heavy in crypto, even throughout the end of this year, probably into next year, depending on just what it's doing. But like I said, to get a good entry in a short-term move is going to be number 1. Stack your bags, get them in. And then once real euphoria runs in the market at whatever price point, that's going to be number 2. And we start to see retail again starting to jump in. We see meme coins have another huge leg up. We see altcoins, AI coins, Bitcoin DeFi projects decide to just skyrocket yet again. That's going to be a huge euphoric rise. Again, after correction, and then another huge leg up. That is going to be a time, in my opinion, where I will be starting to look to probably sell some of my bags, especially if I'm up very heavily on certain coins. But that's kind of just like a perspective of how I'm playing it. It's going to be by market sentiment at this point, because trying to trust the old time frames at this point, in my opinion, I'm not too sure about anymore. Because again, we are crossing all-time highs before the halving, which hasn't happened before. The halving last time happened, I don't know if it was April or May in 2020. But again, halving happened, and 3 to 5 months later? Yeah, no, close to 5 to 6 months after the halving, price only then decided to move up, right? So we're technically 8 months away from that classic run-up if you compare it to the last cycles. So, many can consider this, we're 8 months early for the cycle right now. Or many are just speculating that, there might be 2 massive moves happening in the market. We have this leg up here. It's going to probably run. Maybe during the halving it dips a little bit. And then eventually the halving will then get priced in, let's say in November, December. And then that next leg up happens. Like the final leg up. In my opinion, that might be what happens. But again, it's hard to predict. It's hard to know. But again, I enjoy speculating on this stuff. It's just interesting. I'm going to make a video just compiling a bunch of different reasonings behind where Bitcoin can go, why it would correct. I'm going to do something like that in the future. But as of right now, that's what I got for you guys today. Just a simple market update, bunch of random stuff. And I appreciate you guys watching, and be on the lookout for some other altcoins, some other stuff coming this week. So I appreciate it. Thanks.